World sing. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs, I write the songs. Hello everybody, welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card readings. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and I will be your reader for the evening. I'm trying to get both of my phone holder thingy-mabobbers are broken. And so I was trying to fashion a primitive phone holder out of found materials around my table. I still don't like that, being able to see the behind the curtain. So give me a second. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I write the songs of love. You still see a little bit of it. There we go. That'll work. That will work. I will take it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card readings. As I just said, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. Hello, Anna. And we are going to pull some cards. So if you're new here, the way this works, the first 6 people to comment yes in the comments, where else would you comment, get a 1-card medicine card reading tonight. And for those who are not, yay, Sage is here. I missed you. Awesome. So the first 6 get a 1-card reading. And if you are not one of the first 6, as in if you are watching this in repeat, you can choose a number between 1 and 6 and pay attention to that card and what the message is. And I promise that the universe has a beautiful, sublime way of weaving our messages together. So I was curious to see how many people would show up tonight because it's Memorial Day and a lot of people are probably out of town or just coming home and stuff. Hey, Amaral. Awesome. So we'll see who shows up and how we proceed. All right. And if the only thing I ask is that you please, hi guys, it's so good to see you, is that you please share this video. The video is free. And but I do have pinned to the top of the comment someplace my PayPal and my Venmo. If you enjoy my work, if you've been here before, or you've had readings or healings or classes from me, and you really enjoy me and my work and would like to support your friendly neighborhood shaman to make sure that these things can continue, I gratefully accept any donations you wish to make. So, and I thank you ahead of time for your kindness and generosity. And let's just get started. It might be kind of a short night tonight, so I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I don't know why I've been listening to Barry Manilow all day. I write the songs of love and special things. Do-do-do. There's this Ray Stevens song that got stuck in my... That's why I started listening. There's a Ray Stevens song that got stuck in my head this morning. And it's called I Need Your Help, Barry Manilow. I need your help, Barry Manilow. And then I started listening to Barry Manilow. So there you go. Anyway, all right. So Anna, you are first up. Let's see. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. Ha! All right, Anna. This might be familiar, but your card is the ant. Card number one is ant. Anna is probably laughing right now because I did a reading for her just recently, and ant was one of the ones that came up. And ant, of course, is about patience. And you know, we really do ourselves a disservice when we insist on that instant gratification, right? We just, for instance, when it comes to hunger, right? When we're hungry, we just, you know, at least I know that I was going to say sometimes or a lot of times, just like, what can I eat? Nom, 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 right? But have you ever purposely felt your hunger? Sat with your hunger and feel it. Feel the hunger, you know, because it's not going to kill you, right? It's not, you know, it becomes like a trigger. We feel hungry and we stuff our face. But when you can actually sit with that feeling and feel it and relate to it, it becomes not just a trigger to something else. It has its own identity, for lack of another word, its own presence, and it's that hunger that is the secret ingredient to really good meals, right? I think, Anna, I think I told you the story at your reading about the samurai came into this tavern one time, and he like talks to the cook and says, I hear you cook the best noodles in the world. I want a bowl of your noodles right now. And the cook was like, okay, I will go start some. So the cook goes back into the kitchen. So the samurai is sitting, and his hunger is growing. And the cook comes out to check on him. How you doing? He's like, oh, I'm so hungry. That smells so good. He's like, okay, it's almost done. He goes back into the kitchen and he waits. And the samurai has forced to wait and to wait and to wait. He's getting ravenous. And by the time the cook brings the noodles out, the samurai just scarfs them down. He's like, everybody is right. You have the best noodles in the world. And so the secret ingredient is time. The cook has, you know, the noodles were probably ready right at the beginning, but he made the samurai wait, and that hunger made them even tastier, you know. And you can go, you know, it's a perfect example of what, you know, I've talked before about how when we have our desires and our passions, right? These longings from within us, you know, for a lover, for a new job, or for, you know, whatever it is, romance is a really good example. And it's like, instead of feeling, feeling that loneliness, and feeling that longing and thinking there's something wrong with you, why can't I get a lover? Why can't I get a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever? If you sit with that longing and realize that, number one, that longing, that desire is a gift from the universe. And it's like a compass that tells you which direction to go, right? And when you can feel the longing, number two, that there is something you couldn't feel that longing, that emptiness, if you think of it like a concave, like open to receiving something, in a whole system like the universe, right? You can't feel the lack of something without there being something to fill that lack. If you're feeling the longing for something, that is proof in itself that the object of that longing exists. And so you can sit with that longing. It could be for freedom. It can be for, like I said, romance, peace, a new job, or abundance, whatever. But when you can feel that longing, then you are guaranteed that there is something at the other end waiting for that longing. Just like the samurai waiting for his noodles. And so it becomes this kind of teasing in a way, I wrote a song a number of years. Well, I started writing a song. I never got past the first verse, but it was basically, it's my deep, delicious longing makes me know that you are real. If there were nothing to quench it, then this thirst I couldn't feel. And so it's like when you feel the longing, there is something coming. You're guaranteed. And so, and again, everything happens in divine timing, right? Everything is in divine timing. You can't push the river. I keep finding myself saying that lately, but you can't push the river. The river will get there when it gets there, right? And so it's like Christmas, right? Christmas. So it's like, sometimes to me, Christmas Day, especially the day after Christmas, is a total letdown, and it feels sometimes kind of anticlimactic because of the buildup, and it's that longing, it's like just that joy, and it's like this longing for knowing something is coming, knowing it's coming, or waiting for a package in the mail, right? You can't rush, well, nowadays you can, but it gets there when it gets there. It's like the mail has to go through certain hands at a certain pace and on trucks at a certain pace that you have no control over. And so it's that being present with whatever you're feeling. And if you're feeling a longing for something that is incomplete, experience that longing. Experience that hunger. Savor it. And remember that, you might not know what it's going to look like, right? You might have ideas and hope it's a certain person or a certain thing. But, when we're trying to manifest something, we're not manifesting the object. We're manifesting the feeling of wholeness that object reflects. So in that longing, if you can remember that, You know, it's like, oh my God, I'm so longing for this. It's like I can hardly stand it. But it's such a like I said, deep, delicious longing. When you can think of it in that way, then there's no hurry. And it's kind of that, you know, like in like rom-coms and stuff, right? There's always that element of sexual tension, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's like in anything you do, there's that tension of waiting, that tension. And that's when I talk to people about adapting an attitude of expectant curiosity. Expectancy because you know something is going to happen. But curiosity because you don't know how it's going to turn. You don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know what the physical manifestation of this feeling is going to look like. Again, like on Christmas Eve, when the kid on Christmas Eve like knows Santa was here, he's expectant. They know that there's something under the tree, but they don't have any idea what is there. It's like this expectancy, but this curiosity, and it's that curiosity is actually the most essential element of it, because it's that curiosity that keeps drawing us forward. It's like the mystery of life, the great mystery. So, again, and his patience, but no. So, okay, this is interesting. My guys just poked me again. When I was, I went to Catholic school from first grade all the way through college. And my fourth grade, well, actually, she was my first grade teacher, and then they realized that she was teaching above kids' heads, and so they put her into fourth grade as the fourth grade teacher. But her name was Sister Agnes, and she was a very dear friend of the family, a really dear friend of mine as I grew up. And one of the things that she always said that I still remember to this day is, all the way to heaven is heaven. All the way to heaven is heaven. And so every step, this Aunt is the harbinger that there is something big being built. There is some big project. There is something that you can't even imagine the scale of. And every moment, every step closer to that manifestation is a moment of wholeness. Like Dan Millman always said, there are no ordinary moments. Every moment is complete in itself, right? So and like if you're working on a craft project or an art project, it's the doing, right? Like if you're knitting a scarf or crocheting or beading or whatever it is, the point is in the doing, in the beading, in the knitting, in the stitches, right? That's why you do it. And it's almost anticlimactic when you get like done, like, holy crap, there's a scarf, right? And so every step toward the manifestation is the manifestation. Okay, my guys just won't shut up. So, the hologram, the holographic universe, right? The holographic model of the universe. Every part of the image holds the complete image. If you remember those bookmarks from the 80s and 90s with like the dolphins or Mother Mary, if you cut those into 3 or 4 pieces, you don't just have 3 or 4 different parts of the image. You'll have 3 or 4 complete images, because every portion of the hologram contains the entire image. The same here, every step of the way It's like you're building a hologram, and every step contains the whole manifestation. You might be at different stages through it, but it's complete. One of my art teachers in college, I was an art major. I got a BA in art, and my least favorite professor, I'll put it that way, actually taught me one of the biggest lessons I learned going through art school, and that is, how did he put it? You approach your art so that you can stop at any moment and it will be finished. Which is totally different from that idea, like, treat each day like it's the last day on earth, right? There's like this desperation to that. But if you stay present, step by step by step, so that every moment is complete onto itself, you can stop at any moment and your art, your life will be complete, right? It's like you approach your art when you're drawing or painting so that at any point you can stop and it will be complete. So know that, I guess the point of that is that don't think that just because you haven't achieved that full manifestation yet, that there is something lacking in you. That's really the point I'm going for. It's like, you know, we tend to be like, oh, I haven't found my soulmate yet. There's something wrong with me. No, there is not. You are whole and complete unto yourself. And every moment toward that manifestation, you are whole and complete. And so, you know, and you know, if it's something big, allow yourself to freak out from time to time. Like, oh my God, I just can't wait. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, like, when is it going to get here? It's okay to have those moments too, right? And then go back to knitting the sweater, right? Stitch by stitch. But this is the promise that there is something big coming. Such a little animal, but big manifestations. And that enjoy, you know, again, that cliche about it's not the destination, it's the journey, not the destination. Just keep feeling what it will feel like when you get that completeness. Whatever it is, whatever the manifestation, whatever it is you feel coming, even if you don't know what it is, feel it and savor that feeling. Savor every step, because it's through the journey. You know, like I've talked before about the cosmic GPS, right? We put our destination into the GPS by setting our intentions, by, you know, creating, you know, setting up to manifest things. And then we have to let go and allow the universe to take us each step of the way. And the universe will take you the quickest, easiest way to that goal, but it also will take you exactly through the neighborhoods that you need to go through, where there might be detours or road work, things that you have to experience to become the person that you need to be when that future manifestation happens, right? At the moment, you're not that person, or it would already be in your life. But there's this longing, and that is your future self reaching back through time, drawing you forward to that manifestation. So enjoy it, savor it. Know that it is guaranteed. It is guaranteed you're going to get there, okay? Woofda. All right, I see a couple other people came on, Lori and Tammy and Melanie. I still have a few places. If you guys want a one-card reading, all you have to do is say yes in the comments. You can get a 1-card reading. We just finished our first card. I was thinking, like, awesome, Tammy. There were only 3 people that showed up at the beginning. I'm like, oh, it might be a short night. And then I spend almost a half hour on the first card. So we'll see how it goes. All right, card number 2 for Sage. My guys just would not quiet down until I said everything they wanted me to say about Aunt. Watch, the next one will be Uncle. Just kidding. All right, Sage, card number 2. And if I haven't said it already, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for deciding to spend an hour or whatever with me, taking an hour out of your evening, out of your day, to turn more toward your inner world rather than your outer world. Ha, Emerald. That's right, Tammy. Sarah McLachlan? Is that who you just saw? All right. Oh, you got 2. They're both in reverse, but that's not bad. Your 2 cards. So card number 2 is a twofer. You got elk in reverse and rabbit in reverse. So elk medicine is about stamina. And I think I've talked before about, I was doing a reading for someone, elk medicine came up, and I was talking about how elk's main defense is that they can outpace the predators. They're not necessarily faster than them, although they really are. But their main thing is if they can outpace them, right? So like wolves are sprinters. So they depend on this burst of speed, right? To take them down. And if they miss, then elk is home free. Elk gets further and further ahead of them. And as I was telling my client that, imagining this scenario happening, in front of me on the table, this horizontal thing flipped vertical, and I realized it was about raising your frequency. The wolves, anyone who tries to take you down or to hold you back or whatever, they can only go so high because their focus is on a power struggle. They believe in order to get higher, they have to take others down. But that just keeps them at that lower frequency. And they're not going to be able to progress above that until they come to the realization that their power is in their own hands, in their own heart. But, so they can only go so high. So if you raise your frequency up, up here and getting higher and higher, eventually you're not even going to hear the howling of the wolves. They're going to be so far behind you, they're not going to have any place to dig in their teeth or their claws, right? And like I saw a meme not too long ago. It was like, if someone is trying to pull you down, they're already beneath you. And if you, like if elk, so the wolves are coming at the elk, if the elk were to stand still and to face the wolves head on, he's dead. Because the whole pack will just take him down. And the same thing, if someone's coming at you or the world's trying to keep your attention on mundane, low frequency things, if you stop to face them head on, you just lowered your frequency. But you're up here and those things are down here. And so it's like you just keep going forward. Focus on your own path. Focus on your own direction. And let everything else fall by the wayside. So that's number one. Is like, don't let the world get to you. Don't let others drag you down. They are not worthy of you. They are not worth your time, because we can't. It's like trying to save a drowning person. You never jump into the water to save a drowning person, because you'll end up drowning too. You always stand with your, firmly on the bank, on the earth, and you throw something to them, or you reach out a pole or something to draw them in, to draw them up to dry land, to your level. We never dive in to save someone else, because you're just lowering your frequency, and then you're on the same level, and then you're flailing around in the water just like them, and you lost your upper hand as far as being able to help someone. So it's like, never lower your frequency for the comfort of someone else. Let them come up to your level. It's entrainment, right? Like the room full of clocks that eventually is tick-tocking all together. When you're the highest frequency in the room, everybody's frequency rises at least a little bit to approach yours. That's how we heal the world. That is the most powerful healing that you can do. That's actually unicorn medicine. Unicorn is the highest frequency creature that ever was. The purity and the innocence and the wildness, which is why they would always use a virgin to draw the unicorn, because the virgin reflected that innocence and purity, right? And then all the men with the spears and arrows would jump out of the bushes and take down the unicorn. But that was the only way. If you've ever seen the medieval manuscripts and the illustrations of unicorn hunts, they're bloody. There are arms and legs laying all over the ground. A unicorn is uncapturable, untamable. And at the same time, so they're like the wildest animal that there ever was. And at the same time, they, just by their mere presence, they raise everything up. They raise the vibration of everything and everyone around them. That's how they can, like, just by dipping their horn into a lake, they can purify that whole, what? Behind the rabbit? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Sage. Exactly. And so, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. And so, like, they put their horn in a lake, and the lake is completely purified. Which is why, like, a lot of royals in the Middle Ages would line their goblets with unicorn horn, or what they thought was unicorn horn, because it would automatically nullify any poison that someone put in their goblet. And if you would like to know more about that, Sandra Ingerman wrote a book called Medicine for the Earth, and it's all about that. It's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful thing about transfiguration. You can only help others by raising yourself. Okay, so then, along with Rabbit, the second card, This is card number 2A and card number 2B. B for bunny. What? Behind the rabbit? Rabbit is about in a way it's about mindfulness. You know, there's the story I tell about how Rabbit was hopping down the woodland path one day and saw eagle flying overhead, and he was so scared that he yelled, "Eagle, don't come and eat me, I'm really afraid of you." And the eagle didn't hear him the first time, so he jumped up on a log, started jumping up and down, waving his little paws in the air, yelling even louder, "Eagle, I'm really, really afraid of you, don't come and eat me." And of course the eagle heard him the second time, swooped down and ate the rabbit. And so it's about, so the way these work together, okay, when you're at a lower vibration, you call the lower fears to you, right? But if you're at a higher frequency, those fears they're not even on the radar. The universe doesn't respond to words. The universe responds to frequency. And so the trick is to vibe at the frequency that you need to be at to create whatever life it is that you're trying for, if that makes sense. Kyle Cease, who I mentioned before, has this exercise he has people do called Kylego. And the name is doesn't matter. It's like his name along with his friend's name who created it. But he was on his way to an interview with his friend, and he was really worried. He was really nervous. He kept talking about how nervous he was. He kept talking about how worried he was and how he wasn't going to get this part and how was he ever going to get this. And then he stopped. And then he started talking about as if it were a year later. And he started talking about, remember that time when you were driving me to that interview and I was kind of freaked out, but then it's like I got there and everything just flowed and I connected with the people. And we got a real rapport going and I got the part no problem. That kind of thing. It's like becoming the person where that manifestation is just kind of an afterthought. It's like having hot and cold running water, right? You don't even think about it. It's not a thing to you because you're a person in a society where that's a normal thing. But there are people out in third world countries that's not a given. That's something that's up above, like they can only hope for, they can only reach for. And so it's like when you have something you're trying to manifest, to become the person that whatever this manifestation is normal for them. It's not a big deal. Kind of like when in voice class, we were always taught to, instead of trying to reach, if there was like a high note, instead of trying to reach the note, which would strain, you overshoot the note and you come back down. You aim for higher than the note and you come back down to it. Same thing when you're tuning a guitar, tuning the guitar string. You never just tune it, tighten the string to the point where you want it. You always tighten it more, and then you come back a scooch to where it actually is. So aim higher and know that wherever your vibration is what the universe will bring you. And just the other thing with rabbit is rabbit is the embodiment of spring, right? Fertility, fecundity, creativity, and It's that totally thinking outside the box. It's like creative opportunities, right? I've said before how rabbit is kind of the popcorn of the animal kingdom because they're so plentiful and everybody eats them. And so the fact is, if you miss one chance, there's always another rabbit coming along. And rabbit runs in a zigzag, right? It's never straight on towards something. And so it's okay to see something over there, then you go see something over there and see something over there. Your path doesn't need to be the straight and narrow, right? It's going to be creative. It's going to have all these different elements woven in. I had a vision when I journeyed to rabbit for something, and I saw rabbit running in the zigzag, and all of a sudden it became a needle and thread. And it's like you are weaving your future. That zigzag is weaving things together, making a bigger and better reality. So don't be afraid of the knots in the thread or whatever. It's like you're going to get there. You are a co-creator of your reality. You are divine by nature. There is nothing that is beyond you. You can do anything you set your mind to, right? And between these two, you're going to get there lickety-split. You're going to have all the energy and the stamina you get to finish the race, and you're going to have fun doing it. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I still, after all these years, I still learn new things. Like I can't put my finger on it right now because some of this is kind of channeled in a way, so I don't always remember exactly what I said. But there were a couple of things in there where I was like, oh my God, I don't think I've ever said that before. Or, oh my God, I never realized that. So, I'm so glad it was relevant. Just keep going, like elk. Just keep going, keep going. You can do it. Okay? All right, Amaral for card number 3. All right. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs, I write the songs. All right. Card number 3 for Amaral. Sage is still laughing at it's just a rabbit. What, behind the rabbit? It's got big nasty teethies. Anyway, Amaral, card number 3, you got a horse. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. And no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed. Horse is about power. Again, you are so coming into your power. It's like, don't fence me in. Give me land, lots of land with something up above. Don't fence me in. There is nothing that can hold you back. It's that, like wild horses couldn't keep me away. You are unpinnable. There is no pen that can hold you. It's like horses expansion. Expanding, beyond the horizon. Horse, but it's not, people think power and they think aggressiveness and, power over, like being the big man and crushing all the little people beneath you or whatever. Horse is not that kind of power. Horse is that power of the heart where it's a gentle power. It's a self-evident power, a power that doesn't need to prove itself. Kind of like there's that saying, how does that saying go about the lion? How a lion doesn't need to convince you that it's a lion, right? The truth doesn't need to be explained. The truth just is. And as you come more and more into that truth of your true self, of your authenticity, that's where that power comes. And it doesn't mean that you have to be, aggressive, or you will find that people love horses, right? People are drawn to horses. And so by just being who you are, people are drawn to you because of that power. Because and that's how the equine therapy works, right? Again, entrainment that I was talking about earlier. Our heart is an electromagnet and creates this electromagnetic field around us, right? Horses' hearts are twice as big as ours, and therefore their electromagnetic field is twice as big as ours. So when you come into the presence of a horse, just by being in their presence, your energy field rises. You feel that power, but it's not the power of the horse. The horse isn't giving you power. That power is your own power rising to the place of resonance with the horse, right? It's like, what are the herbs and stuff called that they don't, like, it doesn't matter how much you take, but it it brings you to your highest level and balances out your levels, right? It doesn't do anything to you. It helps you find your own levels and raise your own levels. That's what the horse does. The horse raises your levels to meet it. And it's that gentle power. It's not this, I gotta go running and blah, 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 whatever, and rule the world. It's this, and it's interesting because horses also need to run to be healthy, right? That they were built to run, but that running in itself is adaptogen. Thank you, Ellie. Hi, Ellie. It's good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a long, long time. Thanks for joining us. I have another spot left if you wanted a one card reading. I love you, Allie. I miss you. Allie's one of my dear friends that I learned. Okay, Allie, you are on the list. Allie went with me through soul retrieval training with Sandra Ingerman. So we've known each other for quite a while. All right, back to Amaral. So Amaral, in essence, what I'm saying is that you are the horse, right? People are drawn to you because of that gentle power, because being around you, like I was talking with Sage, by being that higher frequency, then everyone in the room rises to meet you, right? And because you're of a higher vibration, your electromagnetic field goes out further than most people, right? And so seriously, you could just walk by someone on the street and all of a sudden their mood will lift. It's that powerful, okay? And you give permission. It's like it's kind of funny because I know that you like to travel a lot. You go all these different places, right? And it's kind of like giving other people permission to explore new territory, to explore new places, to go outside their comfort zone in order to see the rest of the world or whatever, right? So it's a great service that you do, you know. And again, it's not that you're out there trying to save the world, right? It's you're focusing on your own path, your own journey, your own growth. And by raising your frequency in that way, others are drawn to you to find out what you know that they don't. And through that so you're not giving power to other people. You're not healing others by sending power to them. You're helping them raise their own power to meet yours. So good job. All right. Tammy, card number 4. Devlin! Hi! Oh, it's so good to see you. I have one spot left if you want a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Emerald, you are so on the right path. You are so going the right direction. You're in the right place at the right time. Awesome. Awesome, Devlin. I miss you. I never know when you're home from school or anything, but when you are, come see me. I would love to hang out sometime. All right, Tammy, Devlin's mom. Card number 4. Tammy, you got the fox. The fox is the master of illusion, like magic, like illusion, right? Fox has the cloak of invisibility. They can disappear in front of you. It's that whole crazy like a fox thing, which suits you to a T, right? It reminds me of that Nietzsche quote about how does that go? About how the ones who were dancing were thought to be insane by the people who couldn't hear the music, right? People who were farther ahead on their paths, higher frequency, etc., always look crazy. Inventors, geniuses, scientists, they always seem... Emerald, Tammy is a fox. But that's where the whole mad scientist thing comes from, right? There's like that razor thin edge between genius and madness. And being crazy like a fox, there is no one who has a path like yours, which is a beautiful thing. And like fox, the reason fox hunts have been so popular for so long is because they are really tricky to catch. Like, you're not guaranteed, in a fox hunt, you're not guaranteed to catch the fox every time. Because they're slippery and they lay false trails and they, like I said, they can disappear while you're looking at them. You can walk right past them and not see them. So it's like that because you see behind the curtain, right? You can help others take a peek behind the curtain. To me, that is the real medicine of fox. Is as like a teacher, as a leader, being able to say, hey, what's that? Right? Pointing something out, and it could be through explaining, it could be through storytelling, my default setting is Star Trek, like Gene Roddenberry creating this TV show about a planet that is peaceful and all one, and everyone is nurtured to their highest abilities, etc. There's no war, there's no currency, etc. Created in a time when the world was falling apart, right? It's like, hey, look at what's possible, and then putting it out there and actually shaping the future through that storytelling. There are so many things we have today because of scientists who were inspired by Star Trek. And if you can look at our progress as global process, national progress, we are, sometimes it doesn't seem like it because the nastiness is so much more louder than the love, but we really are moving toward that direction. It's because someone said, hey, what if, right? And so you're able to do that, to point someone in a certain direction, and then like Fox, you disappear, so that the person seeing it has to claim the truth of that vision or whatever it was for themselves. It's that whole thing about don't mistake the finger pointing at the moon for the moon itself, right? So you're the finger pointing at the moon, and then you disappear so that people don't have that finger to the messenger. They don't start worshiping the messenger. And so the ins and outs, like, of everyone I know, you have, how do I put this into words? I think out of everyone I know, you have the easiest time of anyone of kind of navigating that line between reality and non-reality, reality and illusion, and you really do the world a service when you share that. I know you've talked about having, at least I hope that you at some point write a book or more, but to kind of help people see behind the curtain, to see the world. Your perspective is so unique. And you not only see what's in front of you, but you see all of the steps behind that thing that took that thing to become real. You see all the synchronicities. You see the angelic hands. You see the, power of those who created it, etc. And the world needs that perspective to be able to, the words that came into my head were to demystify the mystical. like I was talking to Sage about, you know, manifesting and becoming the person where whatever that manifestation is just everyday news. It's just nothing special. And it's like, so living a life where the synchronicities and those peeks behind the curtain are such a natural, normal thing, to be able to share that with others so that others, we normalize the mystical, right? Like I always talk about, one of my jobs I think is to demystify shamanism, because if we all have spirit guides, if we all have ancestors helping us, if everyone can connect with them and get direct revelation from your own spiritual guidance, that's the normal way that things work. It isn't all woo-woo mystical, you know, and I still run into people who get freaked out when they were just talking about someone and then they call on the phone. And I'm like, that happens to me almost every day. That's like an everyday occurrence for me. So, you are amazing, my friend. Normalize the woo. That's it exactly, Sage. If anyone can do that, Tammy, you are the person who can do that. It's like such a unique perspective. And it's like that Twilight Zone episode where the people fell kind of in between moments and they saw all the people like that were building the next moment, and they had to like the continuity of, okay, this you know, this car was about to hit the hydrant in the last moment, so in this one we have to create the car, and the hydrant is underneath it, and the water is spraying in certain directions, whatever it is. It's like you live in that liminal space between things. And it's such a valuable gift to be able to share that with others. So, as Sage says, normalize the woo. I love that. That could be the name of the book. Normalizing the woo. All right, Allie, card number 5. I hope that makes sense, Tammy. You are amazing, my friend. And I can't tell you that enough. I know I've said it in the past, but I can't tell you that enough. All right, Allie, my wonder twin. I'm so glad you're here, Allie. You're welcome, Tammy. All right, card number 5 for Allie is the Lynx. And that doesn't surprise me. I think of the Lynx as Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of an eagle. Shape of a hurricane. But Lynx is, to me, like the matron saint of psychics and seers, right? She is the embodiment. Lynx, of course. She's the embodiment of the hollow bone, right? She is the keeper of secrets. And in order to keep secrets, in order to, you know, those eyes that see through reality rather than looking at reality, you know, she looks at you and she sees everything there is to know about you. She sees through you. But in order to have that vision, to be able to see through reality, you can't have secrets of you can't have You can't be holding on to secrets of your own. Did I say that right? It's like it's a long process of shadow work and, you know, bringing light into the shadows, forgiveness, letting things come to the surface that need to come to the surface, right? But in order to see the secrets of the world, she can't have any secrets of her own. Like how we you know, how we try to hide from ourselves. We try to pretend that we're one person when we're actually something else, or we pretend that, no, we don't like that thing or that person, right? And we try to deny it. She has none of that. And so because of that, there are no filters, and that's why she can see true, why she can see clearly, because she's done that work. This is you. You have done so much work to become that hollow bone. So on one hand, this is kind of a validation to you that this is you, that you can take credit for how far you've come, for how much work you've done. And it is also a validation that you can trust yourself. You can trust your intuition. You can trust your visions. You can trust when you think, when you see someone and a certain feeling or a certain thought comes to you, you can trust that. Undeniably. Now, the thing is, like Lynx, you're a keeper of secrets. Just because something comes into your mind doesn't mean you need to share it to the whole wide world, right? There's an integrity there. And so you get to see, you know, and it's not an easy thing, right? It's like we're, you know, humans in our natural state want to help others. And when we see something happening for someone, you know, it's easy to try to step in and do the work for them, or to, you know, help them to avoid whatever that is, when they need to experience that thing in order to get the lesson, to become wiser, in order to grow. And so it's like that being in that state of awareness, and yet not giving up your secrets, not unless someone comes to you and asks you, which, like we've learned from Sandra, I mean, I don't know a teacher with more integrity than Sandra Ingerman. And that was one of the things she always taught us, was that you don't volunteer information to people. You don't step in. You might see clearly what it is, or your guides might be telling you what needs to happen. But until that person is able to receive or able to ask, we don't volunteer, because that is interference, right? So, good job. It's like you are the hollow bone. You are the epitome of the hollow bone. Yeah. And I love you to death, so there's that. You're so welcome, Allie. I'm so glad. I'm just tickled pink that you came on. We need to talk soon. We need to talk soon and catch up. All right, my friend Devlin. Card number 6. I need to just start. I always try to aim for an hour, and it never works. Whoop, whoop. Devlin. I need to start even on like my Facebook on the event page. I need to start making it an hour and a half, because that's usually about how long I take, somewhere in that vicinity. But anyway, okay. Card number 6 for Devlin. And again, if anyone is enjoying themselves, or you got some information and you'd like to reciprocate, or you would just like to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, you know, this is my full-time job. And so every little bit helps. I do have my PayPal and Venmo pinned to the top of the comments, if you would. And I am grateful for anything you wish to give. And again, there's no obligation. This video is totally free. My only ask is that you please share it. You can tag someone in the comments, or you can share it somewhere else, but just please share the love. All right, Devlin. Huh. All right, Devlin, are you going through some stuff right now? Kind of you got bat in reverse. So when bat comes up, whether upright or reverse, it's like big changes happening. It's rebirth, but before you can have a rebirth, there has to be a dying, right? And so it's like every time you experience growth, expanding into who you truly are, there's a part of you, or maybe better said, there's a perception of yourself or a story of yourself that has to die. Because it may have been true in the past, but as you expand beyond the identity of that person you were, that is no longer true. And just like the circle of life, you know, in nature, it's the dead that feed the birth of new life, right? Like the volcano takes out all this landscape and everything, but then it's like, it's amazing how quickly the forests recover because it's such fertile land, right? And it's like trees falling over and rotting are where the new trees sprout from, right? So it's like letting go. It's like you're on the pinnacle of change. And like that, being in the dark of the cave, things might seem incoherent, things may seem tumultuous and crazy and nonsensical, and you might feel like there's no up or down or left or right, right? Your bearings are gone. Your reference points are gone. And that's probably why bat is in reverse, because it's kind of this flailing around looking for something to hold on to, looking for solid ground to stand on. The thing is, bat doesn't stand on the ground. Bat puts its feet into the ceiling of the cave, right? Because the ground, the foundation upon which you used to stand, no longer can support who you are. It's falling away, it's recalibrating, it's changing. And so the only place that you can put your feet is in the ceiling. And so rather than grounding to the earth, you have to ground to spirit. Ground to your essential self, your essential, eternal, divine self. That is the only truth, the unshakable, invulnerable part of you is that divine self. And because the natural world is rebuilding itself around you. You are not any of the situations that you find yourself in. You are not any of the people that are in your life. You are not any of the objects that you own in your life. Those are all things that reflect you. And because you're taking this giant leap forward to realize a greater part of you, a greater identity of who you actually are, all that other stuff is falling apart so that it can rebuild in a different form around you, right? So let's say it a different way. It's like whenever we're talking about caves, like bat or bear, you know, the cave is the womb of the Earth Mother. You are literally being reborn. You are in the womb right now. And as freaky or shaky or scary as things may be, just like when you are in your mom's physical womb, that is the safest you will ever be in your life. Right now, you are in the womb of the cosmic mother. You are in the womb of the universe. You are safer now than you have ever been. The universe is holding space for you. The universe is protecting you because the universe wants you to grow. The universe wants you to succeed. The world needs you at your greatest, most passionate, most confident self, right? And so the universe is helping you do that by holding you in that space so that you can develop. And as you're in that darkness, unable to see with your eyes, be able to see in front of you, you may have noticed your intuition kicking up a notch or two. And that's another function of that darkness, is to be able to stop relying on your eyes, your mind, and start from your heart. Use the Force, Luke, right? It's like reach out with your feelings to navigate from the heart, to move toward what brings you joy, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel complete, rather than trying to figure out the logistics and the logical steps to get somewhere. So there are big changes coming. You probably feel them already. But know that there is a plan, that the universe is unfolding exactly as it needs to. That you are in the right place at the right time. And like going back to the first card, you weren't here at the beginning, but the first card was Ant, right? And it's like divine timing, divine unfolding. It's a process. You're not going to get there all at once. And so to just take it step by step by step. And to trust that the universe has your back. The universe is not going to give you those desires to improve, or that curiosity of what lies ahead for me, and then yank it out from under you and say, psych! The universe gives you those things because you're guaranteed to find the gold at the end of the rainbow. You couldn't feel those things if there weren't a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So taste the rainbow. And give yourself grace. Allow yourself to take missteps, to make mistakes, because truly there is no such thing as a mistake. Everything is experience. And experience brings wisdom. So no matter what happens, no matter how foolish you may feel about something or regretting something or, why did I do something like that? I know better. Give yourself the grace to realize that, like one of my favorite affirmations of all time is, only good can come of this. Even when I make a mistake, even when life sucks, only good can come of this. There is a higher plan. There's a higher perspective that I can't see right now because I'm in the dark of this little dingy cave, right? But to trust that there is a higher plan, to realize that you are in the dark because you refuse to settle for what was. If everything was hunky-dory, there would be no reason to change, right? But you want more. You know that you are worthy of more. You know there is so much more to you than you now know. And that is exactly what creates these times of seeming chaos. Just be the eye of the storm and know that it is all in harmony. Even the chaos is harmonious with who you are becoming. And as you stay feet in the sky, grounded to spirit, eye of the storm, that storm will calm around you, fed by your own calm, your own confidence, your own self-knowledge. Okay? You're doing great. You're doing great. This is actually, it doesn't maybe sound like it at first. This is a really good card. It may have its tower moments, like from the tarot, but the focus is that things only fall apart. If there weren't something bigger moving into your life, these other things wouldn't be falling apart. It's the bigger stuff making their way into your life that is forcing these other things to fall apart. Woo is right. Whew. Does that all make sense? So keep going. You're doing great. And I'm always here if you need to talk or you need an opinion or whatever. So, okay. You're welcome, Devlin. I love you. All right, so one more card for the week, for the collective. This is a card for everyone, whether you got your own personal card or not. Oh, thank you, Devlin. So, and while I'm shuffling, to remind you that, again, about sharing, please share my video. If you got something out of tonight and you wish to reciprocate, or you just enjoy my work and want to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, my PayPal and Venmo link are pinned to the top of the comments. And thank you very much in advance for your kindness and generosity. And also, this coming week, Thursday night from 6 to 9 in downtown Renton in my office, I am teaching again my Introduction to Shamanic Journey class. So if you've ever been curious about shamanism, if you've heard me speaking on any of my videos about shamanism that you would like to know more about or background or find out what's really going on, this is the class for you. And not only is it informative in telling you about shamanism, it is also experiential in that I will teach you how to do a shamanic journey, which is the technique that shamans have used for over 100,000 years to connect to their own spirit guides, to get that direct revelation I mentioned earlier. And you will learn that technique, and you will personally meet and interact with and begin a relationship with one of your own power animals. This class literally can change your mind, change your life. I am here right now in front of you, talking to you, doing this work because at one point I took a very similar class. So, if you're feeling called by the spirits, if there's something deeper, if you're longing for a deeper sense, thank you, Sage. Seeking for a deeper sense of who you are, your place in the universe, your place with the spirits, and wanting to start a lifelong conversation with your spirit guides, with your ancestors, with your power animals. This is for you. So you can find the information on my Facebook page, the event page on my Facebook page. And also I've got the information on my Perching Wolf Studios website, perchingwolfstudios.net. So you can find it there. You can visit my website and see all the different shamanic services I offer, classes and readings and healings. You can learn a little bit more about me. You can see some of my art. I'm also a cartoonist. I've got some graphic novels for sale, etc. So come and get to know me. And you can sign up for a session with me right from my website. And the last thing, when we're done here, I will share this video to my Facebook page where you can watch it as many times as you'd like. And I will also share it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel where you can watch it and countless other videos from over 4 years of these readings, of sacred pipe ceremony, of stories, of songs, different things. So check out my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and please like my videos. That helps me to help more people. So I appreciate anything you can do to help me out. All right, last card. Jaguar in reverse. Jaguar is about integrity. Similar to what I was talking about earlier for Allie with Lynx. Jaguar, there is no pretense, right? And like I was saying also, like truth is self-evident. Like Lion, Jaguar doesn't have to explain who she is. When you meet Jaguar, you know, one of just a couple options are going to happen, right? And this is the perfect synchronization of mind and heart, where heart is your authority. The mind is a great follower and a terrible master. Your heart is your authority. There is no one in the universe who has more authority over you than your heart. No one has more power. No one has more authority than you. And by following your heart, you automatically work in harmony with the hearts of all beings. So, like I just saw a meme, I think it was from Dame Maggie Smith, but it was like, speak your mind even if your voice shakes. Be yourself. Don't how do I put it? The time for playing small is over. It is time to embrace your power, embrace your authority, embrace your sovereignty. You are the kings and queens of your own life. You have no need to make excuses, no need to justify yourself, no need to ask permission. You are a sovereign divine being. And you don't need to act small. You don't have to lower your frequency to make others comfortable. Be intimidating. Let your full self shine. You are not too much for the world. You've probably heard that a lot growing up and such. The only people that say that are those people who are down here while you're up here. And your light, like one of my guides told me one time, well, your light helps to illuminate others. For some people, your light is so bright that it blinds them. And then guess what? When your light blinds them and they go into the dark, this is where they are. And they have the opportunity for change, opportunity for rebirth, the opportunity to rethink things, to allow the old ways to fall apart. Or they can just run for the hills and not do anything. And that's their choice. But you are responsible for no one else but yourself. And last little bit of advice I'll give before letting you go. I know this has been a long one tonight, but a friend of mine recently talked about delegating. It's like if you've got someone that you feel responsible for, or like codependency, or a situation that you feel like you need to be in control of, it's time to delegate. Delegate the care and well-being of that person or that circumstance to the universe. You're not the one who has to control. You are not the one responsible. I mean, motherhood or fatherhood is a little bit different. There is responsibility there, but at the same time, there has to be that letting go and releasing children to their own destinies. Everyone came here with a plan, with a purpose. And so you're not sculpting them like out of clay in your image. You are holding space for them to grow and to find themselves. So delegate. If there's something bothering you that you can't control, delegate it to the universe. The universe knows the quickest, easiest, bestest way to handle something. And you'll be amazed at the synchronicities and the miracles that unfold from doing that. Oof. Wow. Thank you all for spending your time with me tonight. Thank you, especially the ones who came in at the beginning and stayed till the very end. I know it's been a long night. I know I got a little loquacious, but I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me. This is one of the highlights of my week. You are so welcome, Devlin. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and go shining.